r/AskReddit. Serious, how could we actually save the earth? Replace plastic with wood/metal, straws, dinnerware, etc. Use cloth bags instead of plastic bags and have one proper bottle instead of buying many. A responsibility to clean after ourselves whenever we're in the nature and wherever we are, not buying food that contains palm oil. Big changes start from the little things. Smile more, act from love and compassion, and things will flow. Reduce our consumption of animal products. Meat is ridiculously inefficient, requiring around 10 kilograms of plant food fed to an animal to produce 1 kilogram of meat. A largr part of Amazon deforestation is done to create soy fields, to produce food for livestock. The hormones and antibiotics given to livestock pollute the groundwater, and the entire meat, dairy, and egg industry is responsible for around 14% of greenhouse gas emissions worldwide. Use recycled parts and plastic to make a series of machines designed to clean trash from the ocean, among other things. As for large ocean trash piles, make a new occupation for people to go out to these areas and collect the trash. Also helps with unemployment around the world. Biodegradable shopping bags, balloons. And for the love of God, fund the scientists to make this a living reality. Enlightened despotism is the only way I can see a nation coming together and actually doing something, whether the individuals of the nation like it or not. But I think the despot may have to have worldwide control, or at least cooperation from everyone else. Otherwise their nation will become weak and will probably be fricked over by the next strongest country. The vast majority of pollution is caused by giant corporations. Your best bet to actually helping the earth is to vote in politicians who will support policies that reduce these companies' impact on the planet. Also, having a child creates the biggest personal carbon footprint by a great amount. So not having biological kids, or at least fewer than you want, helps tremendously. Humanity is prone to repetition. As long as humanity exists, we will continue to fail. The planet, on the other hand, will come back, with or without us. Earth has had mass extinctions before, and it will again. Extinction is a part of life and necessary for the evolution of all things. Basically, do your best to keep the world healthy, but don't act surprised when we hit our tipping point only to die slowly and painfully, despite our best efforts. It's something small, but I have seen at a few grocery stores. Getting discounts for brining in your own reusable bags. Also, a mom and pop bulk store near me gives you a discount if you bring in your own reusable containers for the bulk products, like a mason jar to hold flour. It's super small, I know, but I like the discount. Yay, saving money, and it reduces plastic waste. I think it should be implemented all over the place. It could make a really big difference. I always had this idea of starting a solar panel company that installs them/give them away for free, or just cheap enough that people could actually buy some, as long as they paid all the money made from using them. Electric companies pay people with solar panels for putting more electricity into the grid / this way everyone gets a bunch, and eventually coal plants are useless because everyone in the town/city/county/state/country is making their own power with their solar panels. A way I've been thinking about how to reduce the cut of trees for paper is by stop giving standardized tests on paper. I recently took my AP tests and I noticed how much paper is used for a single test. Now imagine all the paper that is used for the whole nation taking around 10 AP tests during that week of testing. Instead, money should be invested on mini laptops or computers to take the tests on them. Edit, grammar. Change the way external factors shape people. Things like movies, music, museum, radio, advertisements, etc., etc. I'm not saying those things are bad. However, people with power, influence, and wealth can and do use those mediums to promote certain messages, mindsets, attitudes. Those people don't care about saving the earth, for the most part. Imho. There is a lot of greed in the elite class. Are you really arrogant enough to think humans can destroy the earth, let alone save it? The Earth will continue, life will continue, and we are way too small and insignificant to affect that. That being said, for climate change scientists have laid out a pretty clear target, to stay below 1.5 degrees C of warming. So basically we need to cut our greenhouse gas emissions as much as possible, since that's what's causing most of the problems. Save it from what? It'll be fine once the new meta kicks in. Sure, there will be less of the species that don't benefit us, but we clearly don't care about that. Expect for life to get better for the average citizen of developed nations. We will find solutions to the problems we create that impact us, or change our locations and lifestyles to circumvent the negatives. An important distinction is that the Earth is going to be fine no matter what we do. We could blow up every nuclear bomb and kill every living thing and the Earth would still go on spinning and eventually maybe evolve new, less stupid life. We aren't trying to save the Earth. We're trying to save our own miserable selves. I think maybe there'd be a little more cross-aisle common ground if we discussed the problem less abstractly/altruistically. First step is to give a shat. Seriously. We have the tools, we have the opportunities. Just not enough people seem to care, and the people who do, give up because they can't do it alone and will get nowhere if the rest of us don't step up. I've tried, but with only my effort alone in my personal community, didn't get anywhere. We need to band together, stop talking about it, and actually do it. Nuclear power. It produces extremely high energy yields, while not producing any carbon emissions. A single kilogram of uranium-235 produces 2 to 3 million times more energy than a kilogram of coal. Accidents like Chernobyl scare people away from nuclear power, but safety regulations have gone way up since then. If we put more research into the development of nuclear technology, we can make sure it's a safe and reliable source of clean energy. Stop voting for politicians who take money from polluting industries. Just literally shut them out completely so that progressive laws can be passed. This won't happen, of course, because most people vote out of wrath and rage at the loony lefties because Fox News and Alex Jones told them so. So I guess education is the ultimate salvation of mankind. Fewer stupid people mean fewer stupid politicians. Which explains why they cut education budgets any chance they get. Sigh. We're doomed. Start with our air, factories that could suck in and find a use for what we've put in our atmosphere, then the ocean. A fleet of boats in every ocean meant to pick up trash and save fish. Then we worry about the decreasing number of plants and animals on Earth and work on bringing those plants and creatures back. And on a sad side note, even koalas have been classified virtually extinct, meaning there aren't enough males for another generation, so this needs to start soon. It all starts with educating the youth. Past and even urgent generations are too close-minded to accept that Earth is hurting, so the best thing we can do now is push for an inclusion of environmental awareness in school curriculum globally. Nothing will get done until people learn to love and care for their planet, and the best way to teach that is beginning at a young age. Stop emitting fossil fuels as soon as possible and try to control other major sources of greenhouse gases as well as possible. Help vulnerable coastal communities adapt to sea level rise and the threats it brings, like increased flooding during storm surges and even high tides. There are multiple infrastructure strategies that can help with adaptation, such as informed use of seawalls in addition to more natural infrastructure like salt marshes and mangroves. Save the Earth? You seem to be confused. The planet will be fine, regardless what we do, life will thrive. All-out nuclear war, cover everything in oil? No problem, give the planet 50 years and life again abounds. Us, however, is a different matter. We might not be able to maintain our civilization, and once that happens we will fall very far indeed. It's not about saving the planet, it's about making it possible for our grandchildren to live. Just be mindful, everything has positives and negatives. Watch for what truly is overall good and bad, and search for an actual scientific reason for it. As an example, climate change is an inevitable thing, though it is not a positive or negative. Some places would benefit whilst others would not benefit, and the final little sections would not change much. Climate change is caused by human activity, plant activity, surface temperature, everything. Equal distribution of resources. There are geniuses that are capable of immense good that are born to disadvantaged families every day. No matter how smart you are or how perfect you are at something useful, if you are born into circumstances that seal your fate as a passing impoverished blur in the timeline of humanity, there's nothing you or anyone can really do about that. Think of how many Albert Einsteins that died of preventable causes at a young age. It's honestly depressing. I'm tired of all of the shat that I see in my everyday life. Every day I see people littering, vandalizing, and even straight up destroying stuff. It's really annoying how little empathy people have for others and even themselves. How could we actually make a huge impact on the world? We could start by picking up all the trash we've thrown over the years and stop littering, but what would we do from there? Not trash the planet, actually make an impact. Probably the way we could do this is to make it socially unacceptable to litter, trash, waste food, or make trashy memes. Actually care about our body, trash the fat acceptance claims and make change not to the world, but to ourselves. All the big companies only care about money, and only few know their impact. Take care of yourself, and be good. Be active, eat healthy, be a nice person, don't gossip, and vaccinate your FUNG children. Force big companies to find more renewable energy sources. Find a practical and inexpensive way to power everyone's house with solar energy. Get the top polluter countries, like the Philippines, to limit their waste and encourage them to improve their waste disposal system. Stop drinking bottled water and switch to a reusable water bottle with a Brita filter. Thanks for watching this auto-generated video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I upload videos like this one daily. I put a lot of time into developing this video generator, but if there have been errors, please tell me in the comments below. Also leave me a link to another thread you would like to see a video about. Have a great day, Alex.